To Kramer's Corner with daily technical update. It is Friday the 31st of January, and again I have to say this video is for educational purposes only. There is no advice or recommendation whatsoever intended for this. So let's get cracking. We have starting with Microsoft today. Sold off heavily yesterday, almost 6% lower. Testing minor support here at 414.85. More key support here around 410. Looks quite heavy at the moment, and also if you look at the weekly chart, also looks quite heavy. If it takes out 410, well, then we are looking at 388 level, and that's a stronger support where we have the 100 moving average coming up. We have the cloud, and we can see how it bounced a couple of times here last year when it tried to pull lower. So let's see about that. Just keep an eye on it. I would do that if it was me. And moving on to the indices itself. We have the SP500 is trying to close this gap here. We are still in a bullish trend, positive sentiment on the RSI, and we are likely to push higher. If RSI closes back above 60 threshold, expect a new all-time high on SP500 here. Pre-market, we are up another 0.5%. As we can see, it's pulling higher. So strong trend there at the moment. Nasdaq 100. Also slightly higher yesterday, and here pre-market we are up almost 0.8%, around 0.8%, and it seems like we are pulling higher. And if it takes out the peak here just around 21,943, and RSI will then probably be above 60 threshold, we are likely to push higher and test the all-time high, and probably also I think also taking it out. Dow Jones, sorry, it didn't update. Let me try once again. There we are. Very close to its all-time high, and I think we will see a new all-time high here fairly soon. It was a strong signal yesterday where it opened lower, but closed. Buyers were in control most of the session, so a push above 45,000 seems likely. Another all-time high in EuroStoxx50, pushing towards 5,300. A little bit stressed, but there's no divergence indicating we are likely to see higher levels. It's primarily banks pushing it higher at the moment. So it seems like, yeah, we are on a course here for 5,300 plus, as you can see after breaking this triangle-like pattern here. Very strong trend at the moment. There is some divergence on the RSI, but for now, trust the trend with higher highs and higher lows. I think we could see a correction maybe coming in next week, but for now it looks fairly strong here pre-market. We're also pushing a little bit higher. DAX index pushed higher again yesterday, 21,700, and here pre-markets are more or less unchanged, but a very strong uptrend indeed. No divergence on the RSI, despite we are a little bit stressed, but I think we can see it push higher. I don't know if we'll get all the way up to 22,000 before we see a correction, possibly, but then it will be quite stressed, so I will expect a correction kicking in. I mean, it could be today, it could be I think early next week maybe, or maybe there will be some profit taking prior to the weekend. Let's see about that. And again, pre-market we are just about current levels, so a little bit stressed here. Euro dollar, well, pausing a little bit, but I think we will resume downtrend. However, what you should keep an eye on is that RSI actually was above the 60 threshold here, but we had a top and reversal pattern in place, so that would be key. If it takes out 103.50, then I think we'll see it sliding lower again towards par, and I think we will end there eventually, but it could be a little bit of a struggle. So some buyers coming in here. If it takes out 105.35, then there's room up to 106.30. On the on sterling dollar, well, almost similar, but here we have still negative sentiment. Didn't close above 60 threshold when it did test here, but it got rejected. 125.40, and the falling 55 moving average here is giving it some resistance. If it starts sliding back below the 122.90, then a downtrend has resumed. Euro sterling, Euro sterling seems to bounce from around the 50%, but I still think we could see a dip down to the 61.8 at 83.45 level here, and then I think we'll see a strong bounce from those levels. The trend is overall still bullish on Euro sterling. Dollar yen. Dollar yen once again bounced from the 50% correction level at 153.75. And so that will be key. That is something really to watch out for. What will happen here? Will it bounce further? And RSI is still in a positive sentiment. Let me get rid of this one, just disturbing a little bit. Or if it takes out, I think then we're looking at 152.50, maybe even lower, and maybe even lower, because we will then go below the cloud. We will go below 200 moving hours possibly, but then the 100 moving average coming up, giving a little bit of support. So key level here to watch out for. On the euro yen, well, very close to test the 159.80 here early this morning, just a few pips from it. Also a key support area here to watch out for if it bounces and move back above the 162, 162.5, then we could see another push up to the 165. What we could do, we could add a trend line. So let's see, maybe that will give us a little bit of help here. This falling trend line, you see, maybe forming and descending triangle-like pattern, but we'll see about that. But keep an eye on 159.80. Also, Aussie yen very close to test the support here at 95.50. Just a few pips for, and then we bounced this morning. So key level to watch out for. What will happen? Negative sentiment on the RSI because it hasn't broken back above 60 threshold after being below 40. Well, then we are still in a bearish trend there. Sterling yen. Well. I think what I will do, just give me an idea what's going on here, see which levels are we hitting. Could be hitting the 61.8, yeah, there we are. We hit it actually there at 61.8 at 191.43, bouncing then. If it takes out the lows from today, then I feel confident we will see it push down to around the 189.50, 30 level here once again. Aussie dollar, well, also found support here at its 61.8 correction level at just above 62, touch 62, just despite just a tad below. If it takes out that, well, then I think we'll see downtrend further resume and test the lows here. We could see a little bit of a bounce, but we are in a downtrend. This is merely just a correction. Still negative sentiment on the RSI, pointing to lower levels, which I expect will come in. But a little bit of correction here, and then I think we'll see next move lower. But 63.35, if it takes out that level around here, well, then we are establishing a bullish trend. Dollar Canada, there's been some really strong movements yesterday, quite a volatility, spiked to 146, just a few pips below it actually, and then set back. But what we can see here, it's key that you see RSI broke above its falling trend line, back above 60 threshold. I think we'll see dollar Canada pushing higher here in the coming weeks, but still a lot of volatility going on. Maybe that's because of the tariffs talk going on in US. We have sterling Canada spiked higher to above the 181 to these levels around here, 181 and a quarter, 181.50, and then fell back, and we are then back below 180 again. So really quite a volatility. I will stay away for a little while. It can be either way. So what actually, let's have a look at what I will do. I will add Fibonacci to this just to give my an idea what could happen if it starts pushing lower here. Well, then we could see a correction at least down to, well, it wouldn't be much at 178.74 here. We have all moving averages rising, so the overall trend seems to be up. And let's just have a look at the weekly. You see weekly also pushing higher, but there's divergence here, so a little bit dangerous to trade sterling Canada, I would say, at the moment. Euro Swiss bouncing here from 94 and a quarter. If it takes out the 95 once again, and especially if it takes out these peaks here at 95 around 95.20. Then Euro Swiss is on course to 95.80, maybe higher. Positive sentiment on the RSI, bullish trend. So I think we'll see at least it will try to really take out this level here, where the 200 moving average really giving it a hard time to penetrate. The dollar Swiss 91.15, taking out that, and especially closing above. And if RSI closing above back above 60 threshold, then we have resumed uptrend, and I think we'll take out the 92 level. And here we can also do this just to see where is it hitting some interesting Fibonacci levels. And you see 61.8, interestingly enough, is actually at around this level here also. That is key, so keep an eye on that. Really key level here, could be rejected, could be broken, so that could be key for dollar Swiss. Also on the dollar index, 108.36, break above that, and especially a close, then we are back in a bullish trend. And then if we can get RSI back above 6 or so, then it will be confirmed. Gold pushing higher, and I think we will reach 28.35 maybe next week. We are just touched 2800 and a bit this morning here. A very strong uptrend indeed. Positive sentiment on the RSI, likely to push higher. And on silver, we also had a push here yesterday. Broke 31 finally, and just below the cloud, upper part of the cloud. But RSI back in positive sentiment. We are likely to push higher in coming days, and going into next week we can see probably around 32-35, which is the next little bit of resistance, but we have established and confirmed a bullish trend on silver. Copper's strong bounce the past couple of days. Didn't get all the way down to the 55 and the 61.8 retracement here, but we are back above the cloud. We were just in it, so we're kind of in a neutral position. If RSI moves back above 60 threshold, then I think we'll see it confirming a bullish push above here. And if it takes out the 200 moving average, and especially this spike here, look out for that one for 38.90. I think we'll take out also the 447 and a push up to 450 and potentially higher. On WTI crude oil, spike below the 72.80, 88 support area a couple of times, below 72.50. But it's still dancing around this support level here. Could still dip down to 71. I'm not quite sure it will, but it could still do that. If it starts crawling higher above $75, expect WTI to resume bullish trend with a potential to back towards the 80 level. Brent crude oil support here just around 76 level and the 61.8. And if it starts moving back above the 79 level, expect a bullish trend also there. On Dutch gas, keep pushing higher. 52.35 we are now here, and again I just want to highlight what's going on in the bigger picture. Here on the weekly chart you can see bullish trend, fairly strong bullish trend. RSI broken above his falling trend line there, so we are likely to push higher towards 55, 56, and then maybe a little bit higher. Strong resistance area. And the Henry Hub natural gas, after its collapse, found some support here around the 100 moving average, just above $3, and could bounce, but I will wait for the bounce to see. If it takes out that little spike up to 325, then I think we'll see a stronger bounce. But taking out 297, it could drop further. 10-year US Treasury yields still the 450. It spiked a little bit below here yesterday, but this morning seems to be maybe bouncing a little bit back. I need a close below, then I think we could see this potential shoulder pattern unfolding. But let's see. If it takes out 467, well, then uptrend has resumed. And the 2-year dancing around 420 level, key support at 415. Looking at the European 10-year, well, it bounced up to almost the 786 retracement here at 260, and then it got knocked back down again. But support here at 245. If it takes out that, then we're looking at 238. If it takes out 260, then likely higher levels above 265. The UK, well, good for UK economy, at least that is set back a little bit. 452, I would like to say 450 will be a key support here. We have the 55 moving average coming up. Bitcoin crawling higher, still in a bullish trend, and especially if it takes out that spike up there and all-time high at 109, 358, then we'll see a much higher level. Ethereum lacking a little bit, but keeping itself above 3,000. So, but we are actually in a bearish trend here. But the key levels around here, 3,000 and 2,900. All right, that's all for today. Have a nice day and a nice weekend. When you get to there, talk to you again Monday.